I support the report by the committee. Thank you very much.
Well, Minority Leader, as a ranking member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I will be very brief and short. Mr. Speaker, on this matter, Mr. Speaker, this is one of the approval or the appointments that in this House you say give it a chance, Mr. Speaker. It's an approval that you can describe, let's give it a chance, Mr. Speaker. Because, Mr. Speaker, why do I say so? Mr. Speaker, since the new constitution came in place, I don't think this country has gotten it yet right in the appointment of an Inspector General, Mr. Speaker. As you are aware, Mr. Speaker, the Constitution, when it was enacted, was very clear on how, Mr. Speaker, what is this market going on here?
Order, Elachi. I know that matter is juicy of court orders, but please, order. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when the new Constitution came into place, the criteria of getting a new ID was very clear, Mr. Speaker. And the office of the Inspector General was made a constitutional office, Mr. Speaker. But what happened? Through legislation, Mr. Speaker, this House changed the method of appointment of a new Inspector General. What was emphasized in the Constitution was that the National Police Service Commission, which is also an independent commission, was supposed to advertise in the dailies, in the media, for people to apply who wants to become the Inspector General of Kenya. Then after that, the National Police Service Commission was supposed to shortlist and come up with a few number that they can interview and then recommend names to the President, Mr. Speaker. We sat in this House in one afternoon and we changed. And we went back to the old way of doing things, where the President now nominates someone, then it's taken to the commission, then like this, like that, then the same person comes to this House to be approved, Mr. Speaker. That is not what the new Constitution was thinking about. Then we went down even to the deputy DIGs, who are not even vetted by anybody, who are appointed directly by the President, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, one of the biggest problems this country is facing is security. And if we don't get it right, we shall continue having problems day in, day out, Mr. Speaker, and that is why investment will be a problem, because there is no investment without security. We want to have, with this, the new Constitution changed our police force to a police service, Mr. Speaker. And there was a reason why that was done. Because people wanted an institution that provides services, not an institution that overlords on them, Mr. Speaker. Every year, every government that comes into place, Mr. Speaker, talks about police reforms, but nothing happens. It's just the word. It's just the statement. It ends there. We are going to reform the police. We are going to have a responsive police. We are going to have, you know, when you see our policemen in this era, in this time, Mr. Speaker, carrying rungus in town, Mr. Speaker, it's shame. Very shame. They are carrying rungus to beat up citizens, Mr. Speaker. Well, how can that happen, Mr. Speaker, in this era of today? My last thing is, Mr. Speaker, the new police Inspector General must come and address the welfare of the policemen of this country, Mr. Speaker. The kind of places our policemen stay and live with their families, Mr. Speaker, no one can accept to live in that situation who is a member of this House, Mr. Speaker. That issue must be addressed conclusively if the new Inspector General is to leave any legacy, Mr. Speaker. And I want to warn him there, from the floor of this House, if he is going into that office to be used politically, so that he can fight certain political groupings, like the way they fought Azimio when we were doing Mandamano, Mr. Speaker, then he is going for the wrong job. Even though now they are calling it broad-based, we want everybody who is not in broad-based, or who is in broad-based, or who is in broad-nusu, you should make sure that the citizens' rights are upheld, Mr. Speaker. And they are the law enforcers. It is the police that enforces the law, Mr. Speaker. They must enforce the law impartially. If they are going to side, if the Inspector General will be used to do certain sectarian orders, Mr. Speaker, we are going to take action against him in this House. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude now by saying that Mr. Kanja has been a career policeman. He has served 35 years in the police service, 39 years, I am told, I hope and pray that he will do things differently. I hope and pray that we are going to have a police service that is responsive, and for that reason, I am saying we do this approval based on what is called, let's give it a chance. I'm not saying that I am fully satisfied, but let's give him a chance. We see how he performs. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Jane Kagiri.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the appointment of Mr. Douglas Kanja. Honorable Speaker, many times in this House, our committee presents a report, and from the findings that they give us, you find yourself disagreeing with some. On this occasion, Honorable Speaker, I tend to agree with everything that has been said about Mr. Douglas Kanja. Honorable Speaker, I